What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala, your thrice weekly podcast where we talk about the hottest news with some interesting people and with a touch of what, Terence?
Good old Malaysian humor as well.
Good old Malaysian humor. But Malaysia in general is just funny. It's a lot of comedy there. And probably gave rise to our guest sitting in front of us. Mm-hmm. Someone who's been on our podcast before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But not in person.
Yeah, not in person.
That's the exciting part, yeah.
This is the first time we're meeting him in person. We last recorded August 2021. And now it is February 2023. Welcome back, Dr. Jason Leong.
Wow, I didn't realize it's been 2 years. It's been. I thought it was 1 year. I thought I did your podcast last year.
I also thought.
Yeah. I really like how you introduced me because when you talked about Malaysia, good old Malaysian humor, there was a tinge of disgust lah. When you're mentioning good old, I can hear it in your voice, bro. Malaysia is.
Don't read too much into it. I'm just in general very monotone.
You are professional. Like you are a newscaster, but you are like it's like this. Malaysia. But this fucking.
You gotta open up our Singapore.
Hey, but my mom's family from Malaysia, so of course I love Malaysia.
Oh, but your mom is not Malaysian.
She's now Singaporean.
See, because she also denounced Malaysia. He comes from a family of people who have given up on Malaysia.
Yeah.
But you know, I think nowadays giving up on Malaysia is a good thing because I want to move to Singapore soon, one day. And also, Michelle Yeoh, who is from Malaysia, she just won a Golden Globe.
Yes.
You know, so she's very inspirational. You know? There's nothing you cannot achieve once you give up on Malaysia.
But now she's still a Malaysian citizen-ish.
I think so. I mean, she has never said she's not. But in her acceptance speech at the Golden Globes, she did say that, mentioned Hong Kong, Malaysia as part of her journey to become where she is today lah. So I don't think she has denounced Malaysia unlike your family lah. She's still proud of Malaysia.
Just my mom. You know, now as we speak, my mom went back to Malaysia to visit her family.
Okay. But, for how long?
For like a month.
A month. Okay, that's long. That's quite long. Yeah. Every year, a month.
More than once a year.
Which part of Malaysia again?
Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, okay.
Which is where you're from also lah.
Yeah.
But actually, I realized you've been visiting Singapore quite a bit.
Yeah, very often.
Since I think on your Instagram, December you were here, and now you're here.
Yeah, December. No, okay. November, I was here because I had a gig, and also my wife's family came down here for a holiday. It's very nice because my wife's grandma, she is a real homebody. She likes to stay at home.
Yeah,
she hardly ever goes out, even when she's in KL. But she loves flowers and plants. So my wife, after visiting the Gardens by the Bay in July, when I did my show, she knew that the grandma would love the flowers. So she actually got her grandma to come in November, which is a big deal. She had to renew her passport. She never visited outside of Malaysia for the longest time.
Okay.
So she came and she enjoyed the Gardens by the Bay. And then my wife asked her, "How do you feel?" And then she said, I look with my eyes, I am full.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how impressive the Gardens by the Bay is lah. So what I'm trying to say is the PAP has done a good job.
Hey, this is not PR application.
No. Okay. So if anyone's listening, but it's so impressive. So I was here in November, then I was here in December for the ADCC Singapore, which is the a grappling tournament in Singapore. And then I'm here again. So quite often.
Yeah, man. You're like almost like Singapore is very dear to your heart lah.
Yeah.
I can tell. Even there's a lot of time spent here and all that.
Yeah. See, you're very professional. You say you come here to Singapore very often. But when you say that, Harish is like,
I'm like, Terrence, can you see his face? Don't need to be so nice that
his face like, why are you here so often?
Yeah. You don't find like Jason's love for Singapore sometimes a bit too overbearing?
That's hilarious. Okay, joke there, bro. I hang out a lot with Faz, Faz and Rishi Budrani, and to a certain extent Kamarul and a few other
Jackie,
friends like bro, the Rishi and Faz, they absolutely hate it when I talk good about Singapore. No, I'm not talking about it. Just like, the roads are nice, public transportation. They're like, bro, you're disgusting, bro. Like, I feel this tinge of hatred, from the non-Chinese people in Singapore, And I want to tell them like, I didn't do anything to you. I'm from Malaysia.
So stay in your fucking country.
There we go. See, you see? You see?
But now Malaysia got new dawn, and Malaysia got
Yeah,
Anwar
that's right.
and everything. He even came to Singapore and made friends again.
Yeah. Made friends again.
Even PM Lee said no, his relationship with Anwar is like no other, no. I think he said something like it's like a relationship like no other. You can see it many ways, lah. Yeah, he said that.
He actually said that.
He said that.
Yeah. Correct.
I don't know what he means by that, lah.
Does he say that to other visiting heads of state?
I don't know.
No, I know that I think Mr. Lee Hsien Loong had
Can say Lee Hsien Loong one. No need to say Mr.
He had a maybe not so good relationship with the previous prime ministers, like especially with Tun Mahathir. Because Tun Mahathir had a fractious relationship with Mr. Lee's father.
Yeah.
And Anwar is seen as like an antagonist to Tun M. So maybe there's your enemy, the enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
So maybe there's, but yeah, it's a new leaf lah, I guess. But still, I think reforms and big change, it takes time lah.
But how are things on the ground? Like, I mean, the last time we spoke to you, August 2021, right?
Yeah.
Malaysia is a different place, political landscape.
My God, you know, in August 2021, I believe the prime minister was someone else. It was
maybe around the time of the Game of Thrones, that whole web.
Was it Muhyiddin? Wait, Muhyiddin was how long? February 22. Yeah, I think maybe that time was also good. They were going to change to another prime minister. Maybe like two prime ministers ago. So it's prior to election, the politics was very fluid.
Yeah.
From 2020 to 2022, we had two prime ministers. 2023. So the elections kind of reset the whole thing. And even then, the current prime minister his political coalition doesn't enjoy a 2/3 majority or even a simple majority.
Yeah.
So he has to cobble together a simple majority with other, let's say, former enemies lah.
Yeah.
So it's a minority government lah, but it looks stable for now lah.
Yeah.
But actual tangible change and reform not yet lah.
So, but you're happy lah about how things have developed since then.
Most people like me are not happy, but we are not fearful because we almost had a very hardline right-wing government.
Yeah.
Because this political party known as PAS is a very Islamist party, but now they're the biggest single party in parliament. They have 44 seats. But they by themselves and their partners couldn't cobble a simple majority, which is good news for now. But in the future, what if they get more seats?
Yeah.
So there's the fear lah.
But what's the general feel like on the street? Like people kind of, because you say like for you, you're not fearful, but you're also not happy. But generally, is there an air of like it's a new day lah?
Okay, I think this is the best way to describe the on ground feeling of Malaysians now lah.
Yeah.
It's like this. Like that lah. Like if we're not, we're not, the capital is not burning.
Yeah.
But we are still not like, our ringgit is still shit, and things aren't really improving that much.
Yeah.
Our improvements are just a bit here, there, and our gains are always negated by failures elsewhere, Yeah. So it's just like,
So then what's the graph of emotions over the past few years? Because I remember 2021, I went up to KL, or start of 2020, and I was asking my uncle about COVID. And he said something like whatever lah, everything is just
start of 2020.
Yeah, the past few years, has it been like gone from like pissed off to like, oh, there's hope, then now it's like that lah, or it's always just like that lah?
February 2020 was when the first coup happened. There was a betrayal within the governing coalition.
Yeah.
And then what happened was the government that we voted for was torn apart and then replaced by another government lah. And they were not doing a good job. They didn't do a good job curtailing COVID. They didn't do a good job preventing deaths and everything. So, and then the then Prime Minister suspended Parliament, declared a state of emergency.
Yeah.
So we were like the only country that I know that had to declare a state of emergency to handle COVID. But he just wanted to silence dissent.
Yeah.
So that was very thorough lah, because like COVID around the corner, economy is doing bad, and we didn't have Parliament. So then when things started reopening again, and then he got overthrown by another coalition.
Yeah.
So that time things were stabilizing, but still not doing a fantastic job lah.
I see.
Then elections came about. There was some optimism. or there was some optimism.
Okay.
And then after that, now things are a bit better than previously lah.
So, but as a comedian, because a lot of material and all that, you remember, I think during COVID, you were doing a lot of videos on YouTube and they also talked about political situation in Malaysia lah. So now that things are like that lah, it's more stable and whatever. Do you feel like there's less to bitch about, less material as a comedian?
Oh, well, see, in Malaysia, there will always be a wealth of material.
Oh, is it?
Material is non-stop. Non-stop. If I do a stand-up comedy show just on current events and political news, right?
Yeah.
I think I can easily do a half-hour show every month. Every month. It's ridiculous stuff every month. So yeah, there will never be a shortage of material lah.
Okay.
From politicians and politics in Malaysia. But having said that, like last year, I think you all know also, like during election year, our comedy club got shut down. Rizal and Gezer, my brother in comedy, he was arrested to assist in investigations because one of his videos touched upon race and religion. So the racial sentiment and religious sentiment was very high in end of the second half of 2022.
Yeah.
And I think I felt the most pessimistic then, like, because comedy cannot do. Freedom of speech is curtailed.
So actually, from what I recall, it was one comedian during an open mic.
Yeah, she wasn't even a comedian; she was an open mic, trying out for the first time.
Yeah.
So she came on stage. She said, "I'm a Muslim." Then she took off her hijab, and then she took off the whatever she was wearing to reveal like she was wearing some sexy clothes. And he said, "Oh, what's up, motherfuckers?" And then she uploaded that clip, and someone else re-uploaded the clip saying this is insulting to Islam. So then there was a lot of hate towards her and the club that allowed this to happen. So within 12 hours, the club was raided by authorities. Then they were shut down, and then shortly after that, so the mob was like they were very angry, and then they say, Hey, the owner is this guy who's also a comedian. Let's check his videos. Or there's a few clips of him talking about his experiences, which touched upon religion. And then they were like, okay lah. Then a mob formed. They protested in front of a police station, live Facebook Live, everything. And then they submitted a police report, and he was arrested for and remanded for 24 hours.
Oh shit!
And now he's charged with Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act, which is uploading videos with the intention of annoying people. I mean, this is layman phrase lah.
Yeah.
But the word intention is there, so it's a very nebulous law because who can judge or arbitrate intent? Because as a comedian, I'm telling you, he uploaded the videos with no intention of annoying anybody. The intention is to gain exposure, make people laugh. So who can say the intent is what?
So that means he's charged with that.
He's charged with it. So it's undergoing trial.
So then because generally in comedy, you will say stuff that some people might find annoying, right?
Yeah.
So did you feel like, oh shit, soon it's going to be
we had a
other
meeting.
comedians?
Yeah, we had a meeting after that. Shortly after he was released. And the truth is, we are all seditious. We are all... Anyone can make a police report and say, hey, I find your video annoying lah, but you... Yeah, but my intent is not to annoy. My intent is to be funny. If you're annoyed, then don't watch. That's the problem with the law, because that is a criminal law, I think so. And that it involves the police. It's not nice. If you don't like something, whatever, there are civil laws that can help with, that you can settle it among yourselves, but this one involves prison time, fines, and jail sentences. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't exist in a mature democracy, but then again, Malaysia is not a mature country.
So he got charged because he's the owner of the club?
No, he got charged because the videos that he has.
The day after the club, when he was arrested for...
No, he was arrested a week after.
A week after. Yeah. That was because what's his affiliation?
The haters started, this one, Rizal is a comedian.
Oh, so it was just he was another comedian performing that night, or?
No, Rizal is the owner.
He's the owner of the club.
So this club is
I see.
promoting hate.
Yeah.
Hate, inverted commas. Then, oh, he's the owner of the club. Oh, let's check it. Oh, this guy. See, this guy also. No wonder they are. So then, he's going through the trial right now. But since then, because Malaysians like, wow, you're taking away our space and you're clamping down on stand-up comedy. So Malaysians are now more supportive of stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah?
They are still coming out to shows in force everywhere. Like we have a lot of pop-up shows here and there. So it's good. I can tell that the support is still there. So it's great.
So things are fully back to normal already in Malaysia.
In terms of the lockdown pandemic, yes, it's no masks. Shows are allowed to happen. Just that we don't have a full-time comedy club now. But the good thing is other comedians are taking upon themselves to do pop-up shows and everything. And I do lots of shows with Rizal together. And I think he's in a weird way, he's happier now.
Is it?
Because he now is not tied to the comedy club.
I see.
He's free to perform for himself.
Oh.
And he's getting better and better. So it's amazing to watch.
And he's also probably in some way more people know of him.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the one who got implicated.
Because shortly after that, because he was trending on Twitter.
Oh, is it?
He was his name appeared on mainstream news. So because I used to make fun. He always hey, see Jason, you last time you used to advise me, upload my comedy clips on social media. You see what happened? There's, hey bro, you trending on Twitter and you got covered by Berita Harian. No, you know how hard is it? No? I've never seen a comedian get covered, so it'd be great.
It's like last time Faz also, when he made that joke, about Najib. That one, he did say it opened him up to the Malaysian audience.
But I think Faz should re-upload the clip now. Because the guy's convicted.
No, I think he probably did. I think Faz probably did.
I better check. For your listeners who may not know, Faz did a joke in Singapore where he said the bahasa Melayu is different in Malaysia than in Singapore. In Malaysia, you say this. In Singapore, we say this. Or Singapore, we say this. Malaysia, you say that. So, for example, they say, in Singapore, we say pencuri. Malaysia, you say Perdana Menteri. Whatever. So, which is a harmless joke, but oh my God, so many people got upset.
Yeah, man.
They tried to ban him from immigration. They tried to ban him from coming to Malaysia. They tried to...
Death threats.
They filed a police report. Death threats to his family. Also, it's the staple. It's the same playbook that was lobbied against Rizal and Gizel. But the one thing that I'm very happy about with Faz and Rizal is that they never apologize for the jokes. They never said, I'm sorry. Never said that. None. No, comedians shouldn't apologize for their jokes.
But so coming to Singapore and performing here, you think it's a better place to
freedom? You feel
there's more freedom.
It's very weird because I think who said this? Rizal said this. He said so in July, August, September. We performed at the Esplanade Theatre at the Kings and Queens of Comedy. He was his first big show. And then he said that, I come to Singapore and it's great to perform live again. He said, things are bad when Malaysian comedians have to go to Singapore to practice their freedom of speech. But over the years, I think Singapore is, compared to Malaysia, Singaporeans, the scene here has a bit more levity and a bit more freedom to perform. I don't think there's ever been a case where a Singaporean comedian gets hauled to the police station because of a joke. Has there been?
If you find Amos E funny.
Oh yeah. The first not a comedian. Okay, stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian.
Because I would have heard of it immediately. So I don't think so. Amos E, I know what's the deal with him? He's an American now, right?
I think he's a convicted pedophile, or something like that.
So that one, he went off the cliff already, lah.
He's in America.
Yeah, he's in America. He's in America,
and he's in jail.
I don't know whether he's in jail.
I think in jail.
Oh, he's in jail already.
Yeah.
Because he went to America at that point, there were still people who were supporting his right to free speech. But then when this pedophile thing come out, right, even they are like, fuck.
Cannot lah. There's too much. He has a lot of problems. But I'm talking about bona fide stand-up comedians here. I don't think there's ever been a time where there's even a police report against.
But you think just from talking to the comedians in Singapore, you think there are clearer no-go areas or not? Okay, this one you don't make fun of.
I think Yeah, I think I'm getting the impression that a major no-go area is like making fun of individual politicians, like the prime minister, or any individual. But I think making fun of politics as a whole and the political party as a whole, I think seems to be fine now. Someone told me that when they apply for their permits, make fun of politicians is okay, but the moment you touch upon like LGBT stuff, that increases your rating to like 18 and above or whatever. If you make fun of politicians, you can go NC-16.
Yeah.
Is that the case?
I mean, LGBT content is very contentious lah.
Still contentious.
Even after repealing 377A, there's the depictions of LGBT things in media. Like in Malaysia, right? Same thing, right?
Yeah, so that's the funny thing, right? So in Malaysia, for now, you can make fun of politicians, no problem. Individual politicians is okay. Politics, political parties. But if you touch upon religion, royalty, these two, you will get into trouble. Religion and royalty. But politicians, no problem. But when it comes to the LGBT stuff, it's weird because I think there's a bit more freedom in Singapore than Malaysia. Malaysia, we will ban any films with like minor depictions of gay couples. Or
recently also there was one
Buzz Lightyear.
Thor, correct. Thor also.
Right, in Malaysia, right? This was not banned in Singapore, right?
No.
Malaysia Buzz Lightyear because there was a kiss.
A kiss. I think.
A relationship between.
There was a suggestion that there's two moms or something like that.
Dual mom family.
Then the Buzz Lightyear Thor one, I can't remember.
It was because I think the female soldiers also some hint there.
Nice.
With Natalie Portman. And
I didn't watch that. And then last time we banned Beauty and the Beast.
Oh yeah,
yes,
that one.
Right,
that one Singapore didn't ban.
Singapore, no,
because there's one character who had a love bite on the belly. So like suggesting like Gaston is gay. Whatever lah. Malaysia will ban one. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Like I'm going to watch the movie and then I become gay. I think.
No, but now Singapore, it's also interesting because ever since repealing 377A, it's almost like okay, we have repealed this, but the people who are against it, they are
energized.
They are tightening down. So I think there was a big debate about even in schools, to what extent should it even be broached? And like it's almost like okay, the government has given you that, so everything else we need to be tighter.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So
like for example, so government says gay sex can, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Gay sex not illegal, but everything else. What do you mean?
But like how you say it's, I think because the change that was made was that is repealed. But the definition of marriage is now can only be decided by parliament
which is now, but currently in the constitution is man and woman right?
Yes, correct. Yes. Currently it's man and woman. And
I think they moved away from allowing the courts to decide what a marriage constitutes. So now only parliament can decide on it. Yeah. So you can't like bring a case up to the court saying, oh, actually a man and man getting married also is a marriage, right?
Yeah, and the reason because there was a case that did that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Meaning?
And they tried to appeal that, this gay marriage is constitutionally a marriage.
Because in the constitution it says between two individuals.
There's some gray area. I don't think they won the case. But I think the belief was that if people can start bringing this up to case, there
in
might
court,
be
in court.
In court. So then it's become subjective, there's the judge, So what they did was they shifted it. Okay, it can only be decided in parliament, with the argument being that we're not saying that this is set in stone. If you want people who are more supportive of LGBT marriages, then vote them into parliament. Yeah, which is quite an interesting take compared to other countries, you know.
So that means let's say now there's a gay couple who wants to get married.
Yeah.
What happens?
Constitutionally now it's still not possible.
It's just not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. It's not possible.
I see what you mean. So it means, but if you vote more,
LGBT friendly politicians into parliament,
then
they can change the definition of what marriage is in the constitution.
Right.
So basically, the message is like, okay, we are putting it in parliament so that it can be debated. It can be democratic, which is, I mean, there's some merit to that, right?
It's interesting. Well, my friend Sam C was telling me about how interesting the politics are because when they were repealing the thing. Then when they debate the motion to repeal, obviously it's going to be repealed. but the government, the PAP, they lifted the whip.
Oh
Yeah.
No, sorry.
The opposition.
Yeah.
Workers'
But
Party
the
lifted
PAP
the whip.
maintained the whip.
Yeah.
And the opposition lifted the whip. So I asked my friends, why would the PAP maintain the whip? Because obviously the motion is to change, right? And then they say, they maintain the whip so that some of the members of parliament who are not for it, they can stand up and just say this homophobic stuff. But I have to vote because the whip. I have to vote for, but that allows me to no. That's interesting, lah.
No, it's do you watch the clips or not? Do you watch the clips? Because some of the clips you watch, it almost feels like hearing from someone who is like still in the 30 years ago, 40 years ago. The way they talk. The gay, you know? The gay. The gay. So you hear that and so it's interesting lah, but like see how that develops and like when it comes to content also, the moment you have that is already a bit more M18 lah, a bit more M18.
Yeah, so see, that's why Singapore is making progress. I feel I mean, of course, it's not the best yet for the LGBT community, but there's some progress. Malaysia, no progress. Malaysia, I think if there's stagnation, is the best. But there's no stagnation. It's going backwards. Like, recently there was recently there's you know what's PrEP? PrEP.
No.
PrEP is this it's a type of prophylaxis. It's a drug that people can take to prevent them from getting HIV.
Okay.
It's very good.
Okay.
So the Ministry of Health is like starting to give this out to whoever who needs it. Of course, a lot of them are gay people who are gay men who are taking it to prevent getting HIV. Then started the conservatives. The doctors shouldn't give PRP to Muslim doctors shouldn't give PRP to patients because that means you are condoning
the act,
LGBT, right? And it's like this nonsense. Like healthcare is healthcare. A doctor should treat everyone, regardless of whether Muslim or not Muslim, gay or not gay. But that has seeped into healthcare.
So it's just
I think it's a suggestion
vocalizing it lah.
But it's not law lah. I mean,
it's not
doctors
law
can still prescribe whatever it is. But the fact that it's very vocal now to not to like discriminate healthcare. Based on your sexual orientation.
Is the general public very vocal about this kind of stuff?
Yes, but you see, I'm on Twitter and social media. So social media, you will see someone say, cannot give PRP to homosexuals. Then the civil society, what's this? Like me? How can you discriminate healthcare? But that's just social media. Maybe in the kampongs or out of town rural areas, they may have different views that they don't voice out on Twitter. But definitely there's no talk about repealing because it's our version of 377, which I don't know what it is lah.
But it's still there, It's still there, and there's no
still there. It's still there. Blowjobs are illegal. Blowjobs is a crime.
Heterosexual blowjobs also a crime.
Yes, apparently.
Unnatural sex.
Unnatural sex. Then what Singapore is?
How is blowjob?
Because it doesn't result in procreation, bro. Which is the only reason why people should have sex.
Say again?
It's the only reason why people should have sex, to procreate.
My God.
You have to memorize that if you become PR, no?
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. But then I have to. If I apply for PR, should I be in favor of 377A repealing or not? I don't know. Is the government?
Repeal already. Repeal. So you don't even need to talk about it.
But blowjobs is a crime.
It's a crime.
That's why I never have blowjobs.
That's why you like coming to Singapore.
Singapore, wife is not here, so.
But speaking of blowjobs,
what a segue!
You were talking about practicing BJJ this morning.
Wow, Terrence!
Wow, we're waiting for that. We're waiting all day for that. No, but
you sucked me in with the 378 talk. Jiu-jitsu. Yes.
You practice. You've been a long time practitioner of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. The last tournament, like I said, I was on here, Singapore, 10th December. I've been doing it for a long time. I think since 2018, I started doing actively. I started training seriously because one of my friends, who is a year older than me, he was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh shit!
This is at the age of 2018. Is how many years ago? 5 years ago. 34 years old. So it's very, very, very young to have cancer. But despite the cancer diagnosis, despite having to go through chemo and everything, he still came and trained like 4-5 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
So like if he has no excuses, then we who are cancer free should have no excuses also lah. So I just trained regularly and became better and better lah. So like now I train regularly lah.
Okay, but I mean, Fuzz also is a very big BJJ practitioner also lah, right?
Yeah. He's a blue belt. He started training also like 4-5 years ago. Like take it seriously. Yeah, it's good lah. There's a growing. Jiu-Jitsu is becoming more and more popular now.
Yeah.
It is.
Like so, and somehow among comedians, there are people.
Among comedians, it's basically
Peters,
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, a long time. He's an OG.
Long time, OG lah.
Ronnie Cheng.
Yeah, it's comedians and tech billionaires lah, right? Who are doing BJJ now.
because you got time, you got free time.
And Guy Ritchie also. Guy Ritchie,
he's a director. Guy Ritchie. There's also who played the guy who played Jay in Modern Family? That old man. He is also a black belt.
Oh, is it? Black belt?
Yeah. What's his name? The guy who played Jay in Modern Family.
Jay in Modern Family.
Oh, the guy from Married with Children. Is it?
The Modern Family.
Yeah, Modern Family. The one Sofia Vergara's husband.
Yes.
Oh,
I know the guy, but I don't know his name.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. He's a black belt.
But we know Sofia Vergara.
So why is there this trend of comedians or entertainers and all that?
It's the trend. It's a general trend. More and more people are getting into jiu-jitsu because I think as we grow older, I think it's a very good sport to do because it's the safest one to do.
Safest one to
as
do.
you grow older because it's very physical, but because when you get into a submission, when you get submitted, you can tap to release the pressure.
Yeah.
So there's no lasting damage compared to say Muay Thai or boxing, where if you sustain a hit, there's a hit.
Yeah.
There's no way of tapping to prevent the damage.
Yeah.
Or like in judo, where when you throw someone, you land hard.
Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu, there's no throwing, there's no landing. So it's very physical, very tiring, good for cardio, but also you can do it till you're old.
Because it's low impact also lah, right?
It's low impact. Much more lower impact. There is impact.
Yeah.
But much more lower impact than say a Muay Thai competition or a boxing match.
Yeah.
Or even like futsal or basketball.
Yeah.
Those are horrendous on your knees.
What got you into it? Like you started training seriously in 2018, but what got you into it?
No, when I was studying in Dublin, that's 2004. I just walking past by because like I was living on campus, so there was a sports center. So I just went to see what's going on there. I saw like they're having a grappling match, and I see like the one of the smaller guys tapping out the bigger guy. And when I saw the taps, like, hey, this like WWE. This is like wrestling. Submission holds. Like, hey, it'd be cool to learn some submission holds.
Yeah.
So I signed up for the first class, and I got thrown over by the same small ass guy. I think his name is Brian, and I thought, wow, a small person can control a bigger guy so well.
Yeah.
This is definitely beneficial. So I was hooked onto that since.
Since 2004.
Yeah. But it was very fractured because like I trained 1 year and then after that I was off campus, so I didn't train. Then I went to Penang to continue my studies. So I didn't train then started working lagi, I couldn't train. Then when I shifted back to KL, then I started training regularly again. But then I was like off and on. Then I got injured.
Yep.
2018 was the year I started training regularly lah.
But got a part of you wishes that it's not as popular. No?
Why?
I don't know. Just like okay, for me like right now in Singapore, so many people cycle, right?
Yeah.
I used to cycle a lot last time, but over a few years I tapered down also. But now if I think right, I wouldn't want to cycle because it's so fucking common. Like everybody cycles.
Yeah, I think too many people cycle.
Yeah.
And which is why you'll find out why in my Netflix special. But for jiu-jitsu, it's better that more people are doing it because then it makes the sport more popular, more awareness, and then there are more training facilities, more training partners, more acceptance in mainstream media. Like right now, the jiu-jitsu scene in Singapore is so big, and so is the scene in Malaysia, and we can grow bigger. I'm actually doing a fundraiser show to raise funds for our Malaysia Jiu-Jitsu Federation.
Okay.
Because we don't get funding because the federation sends athletes to go and compete in SEA Games or Asian Games. So, but it's a new body, so we don't have funding from the government.
Yeah.
So if more people do it,
okay.
and we get more medals, then you're gonna get funding, lah.
But you're involved as an athlete, lah. Like you.
No, I mean, I'm not the national athlete, but just a member, lah. So, and I wanted to help them. So we're doing a comedy show. People come, then all the proceeds go and help the Malaysian Jiu-Jitsu Federation.
I see.
So yeah, if more people, it's like scale things like same like how like I wish more people love comedy, lah. Then I can make more money, lah.
But and it's not like cycling. Because cycling the road is not a problem with facilities, lah, right? Whereas Jiu-Jitsu, you do need a space to train, lah.
Right. So you're saying you don't like more people cycling because it clogs up the roads?
I'm just an asshole, lah.
You just want to be special, lah.
I just want to be special.
But if there are more people cycling, wouldn't that make the equipment cheaper for you?
But then the roads get crowded.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then now I tell you, I don't know how it is in Malaysia. I assume it's the same. There's this ongoing tension between cyclists and motorists, lah. Now like this cool, like 60 seconds to doomsday clock.
Motorcyclists?
No, the
cyclists,
by people who cycle and the motorists, lah. So road cars and all.
Yeah. There's an ongoing tension between me and all cyclists.
Oh,
I think they're all assholes.
You and Terence will get along like
road cyclists. I can't stand road cyclists in Singapore.
No, they are a nuisance. There's so many videos now on like where they show like there's one damn funny, the car has literally moved to the side to let the cyclist pass. The cyclist can still knock into his car.
It is where in Malaysia.
No, it's somewhere else.
Oh, somewhere else.
But my problem with it is that it is very dangerous to cycle on the road. Because in Malaysia, there's no dedicated cycling lanes.
Yeah.
And the problem is, once you get into accident, it's really chalat lah.
Yeah.
It's very teruk, So I don't know why these people
persist.
Like, there are other ways to do your cardio. And
But you got try cycling before on the road. It's actually super fun. It's awesome.
It's super fun. Okay.
Because it's a community.
No, as in, okay, so for me last time, it's just because, if you cycle on a road with a road bike, right, you can go fast, lah, and there's a certain cadence of getting in momentum, and like, it's just very, I liked it because you feel you're like one with the bicycle and on the road and going fast, and it's nice, lah. And it's not something you can get with cycling on footpaths or even mountain biking. I think it's the speed, lah. The speed that's nice.
Yeah, but then wouldn't that, I experienced something else also, like mountain bikers.
Yeah.
You're assholes, man. So you because you're hiking on the hill.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, hey, kring, and then whatever, hey,
got
coming
bell,
through. Some got bell, suddenly, and then they go to like this. They're cycling really fast, like zoom.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It's dangerous,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think in
dangerous,
Singapore, the act of road cycling, the whole wearing the spandex and then helmets and then got sponsor.
Terence's favorite.
All that is, it is tied to socio-economic factors as well. Only people who can really afford all this equipment, they're the ones on the roads, like hogging up the lanes and all that. So a lot of people can't stand it, and then it is tied to inequality in Singapore and everything.
Good.
It's
and
a
also
big representative.
And also these assholes, they don't pay road tax.
Oh, yeah. So that I agree. But going back to the cost thing, dude, if someone doesn't want to get an iPhone, they can so easily get a perfect kit for like a bicycle on the road. And I think iPhone, I don't think it's reflective of socio-economic differences.
But the bicycle is way more expensive.
No, you can get a road bike for like 600, 500.
Really?
Yeah, you can. If you want second hand also.
Okay, but you're comparing something, the iPhone, you almost need it to survive, right?
Yeah, but maybe someone really likes cycling.
But you don't need a bike to survive and perform in the office, right?
Yeah, I can see you all getting along very well.
I think you really enjoy my special because I have a 8 to 10 minute rant about cyclists. That's why the title is called Ride with Caution.
So speaking of your special also, it's coming out on 9th February.
Yes, sir.
On Netflix.
Yes, sir.
And what should people think of going into this special, or even for people who have seen your first special?
So it's a completely different show, and I really like this show because, like the first show, I toured the show extensively before I shot it. So I think it's quite well polished. A lot of people say that their favorite bit is the one I ran about cyclists.
Okay.
I think.
But who has watched it? Like it's not out yet, right? But who has watched?
No. I performed the show in KL.
I see.
Obviously Singapore, certain parts of Malaysia. I've taken it to Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth. Where else? Yeah, so that's about it.
So Angmos find it funny lah. If Angmos find it funny, then
some Angmos, because like the thing is, I try my best to get the Western market, but they don't come to my shows as much. But I'm always hoping to expand my audience beyond Asians and Malaysians and Asian adjacent people. So that's why I'm going. I try to tour outside of Malaysia as much as I can.
Yeah.
So this year my tour after my Netflix special is released is going to be a big one.
All around the world.
All the way up to America and Canada.
Ooh, nice, man.
A lot of flying.
And this was filmed in Singapore.
Yeah, Esplanade Theatre.
When was it filmed?
Last year, July.
July.
Because the PAP has done such a good job supporting the arts.
We will cut it out. We will cut it out.
No, the Esplanade Theatre is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is.
It's the most prestigious theatre, I think. The second most. Next is the Star Theatre, the 5,000-seater Star Theatre.
Oh, in Singapore, is it?
Yeah.
The Star Vista one at Bonam.
I think so, yeah. That one's 5,000 seats.
5,000?
I think
5,000.
Oh, shit.
Esplanade is 2,000, but Esplanade is beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I love performing there.
So I remember talking to Faz, and he said as he has gone through a few different specials, his thoughts of like the jokes he wants to tell or what kind of stories he wants to share has evolved also. So
of course.
For you, how has it changed from your first to your second one?
Oh, okay, second one, I think second one a bit more introspective because I talk about having a child.
So that has changed since
a bit
your first one.
Being a father changes a bit. Then I talk about more stuff that's dear. It's more like as you grow older in comedy. Last time it's like, hey, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. But as you grow older now, it's like, hey, something happened in my life that I think is funny. Here are my opinions. I think this is funny. So it become more and more a bit more inward lah. You know? Like the whole bit about cycling. So that's very just my own opinions.
Yeah.
About why I hate cyclists.
Yeah. So that's the introspection you do lah. Why you hate cyclists?
I really hate them.
You had a child, but no,
so
you
annoying.
just think about.
I talk about my child. So I'm like, she doesn't grow up to be a cyclist,
Well, your child was born after your last special, lah.
Yeah.
And but how has the fatherhood changed how you approach comedy though?
Wait, hold on. My special was released after my child was born.
Oh, after your child was born. Okay.
But that was not reflected in the special lah.
I see.
I think I'm more driven to make money. Because having a kid is very expensive. You guys don't have kids, right?
I have kids.
He has a kid.
How many?
One. 2-ish. Yeah,
so that's why we get along so well now.
Your kid also 2 years.
3 years old.
Oh, 3 years old.
I have one kid, 3 years old.
Okay.
We are mind meld.
About that,
This childless bastard.
Yeah. Just married though. Just married.
Just married.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Does your wife want kids?
Yeah. I mean, I also want kids.
Want kids.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's very. Singapore, you get a baby bonus.
Yes.
But I thought it's only you still get a baby bonus.
You do. Yeah, you get.
In COVID there was one more.
There was a COVID bonus.
There was a COVID bonus.
How much is the bonus?
The COVID, I think 3K.
Like now
the baby bonus
3K. I think it's around.
That's the baby bonus 3K.
3K.
Yeah.
I heard it's 13K.
No,
no 13K.
I think they're talking about subsidies in terms of the hospital and all that. Yeah. Then there's
you can check that off your board on why you love Singapore so much.
Malaysia don't have,
Malaysia don't have.
Malaysia no baby bonus or subsidy. Which is why there's another reason why Singapore is a superior thanks to the good governance. I didn't know this bonus. So nice.
Okay. Yeah. Get baby.
But I mean, there is that thought of. We joke about it all, but there is that thought of maybe one day moving the whole family to somewhere like Singapore, right? Where for you. In terms of moving the whole family to Singapore.
Yeah. And of course, so my daughter is a female, so she doesn't have to serve national service or whatever. But maybe if we have another child, then maybe have to lah.
Yeah.
And then so I've been asking my comedian friends okay, in national service, what do y'all do? And then the basic training, and then I ask them so now when you go for your reservice, what is your vocation?
Yeah.
Right. Because as a Malaysian, what I had in mind is, okay, Singapore or Singaporeans, or they have a whole citizenry of soldiers.
Yeah.
So war happens, all these soldiers are activated and they're going to defend the country. That's my thought. National service, 2 years, of course, that's you create soldiers.
Yeah.
Or civilian soldiers, right? So I asked them, what's it? So then one comedian, I'm a truck driver. And he always tried to avoid the reservist training. Then another one's a policeman. Then I said, what do you do as a policeman? Oh, I just train the kids to do marching. Then Rishi, he's a
quartermaster.
But his quartermaster is very interesting. He has so little work that he apparently plans their parties. The older civilian, the older
the mess boy lah.
Whatever. Plan party. Then another one's a clerk. Then there was a mechanic. But the things he repairs is outdated.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, in times of war, you all are the ones.
They are our Avengers, no. That's our Avengers. Yeah, that's our.
In fact, that's what you want, right? Well, they know a little bit of everything, right?
But coming together,
but then they're like, I don't think you.
Parts.
It's true. I don't think you guys even gonna go, because every time you're reservists, I want like, you really you are the ones gonna protect the country. Because like, see, we Malaysians, we don't have national service.
Yeah.
But all my friends, half of them are crooks and gangsters, and they have no match. You're no match. The clerk is no match for this con man and gangsters.
No, Rishi will plan a party for them. Get them spike the drink.
And then the clerk will report all this.
That's right.
But Rishi is a special case. He has moved on beyond serving the nation as a soldier. He now hosts our National Day Parade.
Yeah,
and
I saw.
things like that. That is
I saw.
a much higher level of national service than being a soldier.
So what's your vocation in NS?
Mine, I was in guards. So a machine gun commander.
Wow.
So I know it sounds like I'm badass, but most of the time I'm just cleaning the weapon. Carrying it around and but I know how to operate it lah.
Nice.
So I could kill a group of 1,000 people with a machine gun if I needed to lah. But yeah.
See, this is badass. You?
Yeah, I was an infantry officer. So
no, you do reservist. What you do?
So the thing about my reservist, right?
Oh yeah,
because
here's the big asterisk that comes with it lah. Right?
Because I came out of the school as an infantry officer. But I got pulled to another unit.
Wait, you went to cadet school?
Yeah, I went to cadet school.
Okay.
But then that's the start.
Okay.
Started off like, but then I got pulled to a unit that I wasn't trained in because, I was playing hockey for the army also.
Wow.
So then after that, in the system, I think I was a bit confusing for them because I was infantry trained, but I was in an armor unit. So I didn't know how to operate the tank.
Okay.
And then I never got called back for reservist for a while until I acted in an army movie. Then they found out like, oh fuck, this guy is missing in the system. Then I started getting called back. Then because of an injury, I got downgraded. So now, right, I don't know what I do. Yeah, that's the short answer. I don't know what I do. So I will also be part of that crew. Okay, what do we do? We don't know.
You act in zombie army movies.
And then I realized half of able-bodied men my age who are doing reservice, half of them got knee injury.
Yes, that's true.
But their knees look fine.
Yeah.
It's just like,
something like
the knee injury always comes once a year.
Correct.
Yeah, exactly.
For that 10 days.
No, but you'd be quite surprised. Some people, when you're a bit older, they enjoy the reservist because it's time away from family. It's time away from commitments. It's, you go to camp, you stay there overnight, but you can go out at night. You can go out at night, hang out with your buddies in camp and things like that.
Like if I was working in a corporate company, maybe the first job, you do the work, maybe you don't feel that strongly about the work. Reservist is great because you still get paid your salary.
Yes, they have to pay you.
Yeah, and then you can tell your colleagues, guys, I'm going for reservist. I can't help you with that
project.
I can't,
But actually, you can if you can. You
can.
But I don't want.
You don't want.
That's hilarious. And then after, so in national, when you do your reservist, do you actually also get called to the front lines to see anything or nothing?
Front lines. It depends on your vocation. Yeah.
Hardly lah. I would say rarely. Yeah, usually just training.
Yeah.
So it's just simulation after simulation. That's why it's a lot of people feel it's a waste of time.
The only front lines is I know people like when there was natural disasters around Asia, they get deployed there to kind of help with the efforts.
Oh, they do?
They do.
Or even during COVID, I think
COVID also.
COVID, they had to get people to pack masks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they got
then the super
also.
high flyers, a few of them got sent to Afghanistan for some of the... No, not for reservists. Those are the active.
Regulars,
For reservists, rarely would you ever...
Right.
But you think that's something you would want to do, like if you ever became Singaporean volunteer and do some national service?
No lah. Or maybe they need a medic lah.
medic, correct.
But do I have to go through the 2 years of thing? No need, right?
There is a bond period lah. You have to.
Do I have to do the national service for 2 years?
I think if you volunteer,
I
don't think so.
There's a volunteer call. I think there's a volunteer call.
Will you speed track the PR application process?
Potentially. You do it for 5 years first.
5 years?
Yeah, and then
slow track lah. Slow track lah.
No, but then, like with the whole question of like, you see all the shit happening in Ukraine and Russia and you think about your borders, and I always think, if Singapore went to shit, right, would I stay or would I fight? And I think my answer has evolved over the years, and now I can safely say I will stay and I will fight lah.
That is very profound.
Yeah, because when I was younger, right, I think maybe as you get older, you got more attachment to this place, and you realize like, fuck, life is, as people start, like loved ones start dying also, you realize, hey, fuck, this life thing is quite precious, and if another country comes and fucks with you, I do think that a good amount of Singaporeans will stay. I think.
The interesting thing about the Ukraine war is that I have a friend who is married to a Ukrainian woman. So he lives in Berlin, and they're living in Berlin, but his wife is Ukrainian from Kiev. So he said that when the war happened, there were a lot of these people in Ukraine who they bought a second apartment. For investment. And then the rocket just obliterated the apartment block. They had to abandon their sports cars because they had to. Sports car cannot fit the whole family. And he had to get people to drive the wife's family out of Kiev into Berlin. And he was saying that the Ukrainian refugees, they're people like us. Disposable income, educated, middle class. They had money in Russian banks. They're now frozen. It's like one day you're...
Oh, it's fucking crazy.
No, really. One day you're us.
Yeah.
The next day you're a refugee.
Oh.
It's sad, man. I was in London waiting to go into this restaurant called Dishum, like a top Indian restaurant. Outside there's a guy who works for the restaurant, but he's like manning the line. He's from Ukraine. He's like a young guy, and said, my friend asked, what do you do in Ukraine? I was a dentist.
Oh, shit.
Now working the line. But hopefully he gets integrated into the UK system.
So they really just picked up and left.
And Kiev is they're all middle class people.
No, it's crazy.
I mean, they had no choice but to leave. But it's interesting that you choose to stay. That's very brave.
I mean, that's why I say now. I would like to say, I'm like, hey, fuck.
No, but you'd be surprised how sometimes the bravery of ordinary people come to take place. Like I had a friend many years ago, 2015 or 2016. Sabah, state of Malaysia, there was an incursion by let's call them terrorists lah, by some terrorists who claims to act for the Sulu Sultanate. They want to reclaim certain parts of Sabah. One of them is Lahad Datu, the place called Lahad Datu. That's where all the things they attacked there. They killed some policemen and some soldiers. But eventually they were contained. My friend worked at a hospital in Lahad Datu. The day the incursion happened, he happened to be in KL having lunch with me. 2 days after. So I said to him, hey Mike, the incursion is happening. It's still ongoing. You shouldn't go back to work in the hospital. Then he says, no, I have to go back and do my duty. He's not a soldier. He's a doctor. But who knows? Maybe you need doctors. So he went back. But luckily he was contained.
Wow.
So there is a case to be argued that ordinary citizens can be extraordinary brave. So but you're staying you're putting on record you're staying.
Now on record already. Now on record. People play the podcast back. If they see me at immigration, hey, you fucking get your ass back in Singapore.
But is there a law that will compel the reservists or national servicemen to stay and fight? Is there
now if you escape duty, like when you're called back, it's AWOL, absent without official leave.
I see. So
when it's wartime, I don't know.
If it's wartime and they call you and you don't go, is there a law?
That one I don't know.
I'm sure. I mean, all the laws about our reservists and all that are quite strict. Yeah. You can't fuck around with it. I think the moment you're born, even you already get the letter. You will get the letter about, you are Singapore citizen. Boys you get Singapore citizen, and you'll be required by 12 years old or something to register and make sure that everything is in line for you to become a soldier. in Singapore.
It's like the Grim Reaper like that.
Yeah. From the
Come
moment
for you
born.
at 12 years old.
No, earlier than that.
Even, I think even
But you're
earlier.
told at 12 years old that you have to register or something, is it?
Yeah,
When you get your IC, like your identity card.
And you can't just like, I denounce my citizenship and leave or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's also against the law.
The good thing is about
It's
reservists.
against the law to denounce your citizenship. Is that a...
like you can't do it. There's no avenue to do that. Yeah. You can't just there's no choice.
Like, if you want to give up your citizenship when you're like 13, you can't.
Yeah.
Or something like that as a man.
Yeah.
but 12 can.
I think there's a cutoff. There's a cutoff.
Yeah, then it's really young. It's not even close to 18.
Yeah, people who want to migrate also, they have to think like, our kid is turning so and so. If we want to leave, we leave now. Because otherwise, if you leave, you still have to come back and do reservist.
If you leave after 13.
Even maybe before.
I think before that. Before that, yeah.
But I was reading about national service and how does it end? There's a graduation parade on March, right?
That's for training, like when you're training.
The training,
there's a pass out parade, there's a commissioning parade.
That's the best, lah. Your parents will be there.
But then after that, you still have the rest of your NS. Because depending on where you get posted, lah.
But it's not the end of 2 years.
End of 2 years, there's no ceremony or anything.
There's some parades and stuff, lah.
Depends on what like for you had, lah.
Yeah. Once if you're in the unit, usually there'll be some kind of like you finish your syllabus, you finish your curriculum kind of thing. Then there'll be some big mission. Then after your family invited to come and watch.
Wow.
All these things.
So what he said, that difference, right? If you're in unit, right? That basically means you're in an active unit where you do a lot of your training is on missions and that sort of training exercises, lah. The other part, if you don't go unit, then you do office work or you do planning or stuff.
So most people prefer the field work.
Depends. Some people they want to chong that because you get pushed to your limits, lah, right?
Oh yeah, obviously. But even in the office, I think the clerks and all that, they also have when they finish NS, they also go out for drinks and all that.
Oh, that's the passing out parade, lah.
I'm sure they do, lah.
But their own parents don't come.
Like they pass out, lah. They pass out from drinking. It's not really a passing out parade, lah. Yeah.
They pass out. Yeah. But I mean, if Singaporeans do get activated, the good thing is there'll be numbers, lah. Don't know what the survival rate will be, but there'll be numbers. Yeah. You know, it's like you see that in the army movies, the ship door opens right when they beach.
Yeah.
You know, then just the numbers, certain amount of people will get destroyed first before some people.
How do you apply to be the bag? The bag of the wave.
Complain about knee issues, like tell them, I got knee issues, and things like I cannot chong at the front. Like knee issues for guys in their 30s and all that, right?
Correct.
It's a real
Last time
thing.
also Malaysia tried to do this during Najib's time. They tried to do this national service thing.
Yeah.
Which is just, my God, thinking back now, it's just an excuse to give out money to corrupt cronies, because it's a 6 months program.
Yeah.
And the trainees don't teach. It's not nothing to do to make you half a civilian soldier. It's just programs and be loyal to the country. Then maybe you get to fire the gun once.
Yeah.
And throw one grenade.
Was that the one where not every man will get it also? It's like a lottery system, right?
Men and women.
Men and women.
Men and women.
But it's still
lottery
random,
system,
right?
yeah. And there was some students died.
Oh, really?
Because they were ill.
Oh, I see.
And then they all food poisoning. And six kids died.
Yeah.
So, and spent billions for nothing. Waste of money.
My cousin went for that. Then he told me once like the training was cancelled because the bridge. It was a ghost and they needed to get the Bomo in.
But so Najib, I mean, now it's like, it's kosher to say the words Najib and corrupt in the same sentence already.
It was last time.
It was already.
It was last time.
I mean, Najib doesn't have that same kind of popular support on the ground that he had years ago.
Now he's in jail.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been convicted quite thoroughly.
But the like jail or like
corporate jail.
Very good question. Very insightful. So last I read, he was in jail. Then he was transferred to the like a rehab hospital because of issues.
Yeah.
So he's in a more comfortable. I don't know lah. So, but last I heard, he was transferred to the Cheras rehab hospital.
Okay.
Which is like more comfortable than a prison cell.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a VIP prisoner, you get these kind of special privileges lah.
And anything for Rosma?
So Rosma is she has been convicted at the High Court. Her jail is like, I don't know, like 10 years. But the fine, because the fine is a percentage of how much you are deemed corrupted for, right? So her fine is almost 1 billion ringgit.
Oh, shit.
If she can't pay the 1 billion, I think another 30 years is added to her sentence.
Fuck, 1 billion ringgit.
So, but she's appealing the case, so she's not in jail. There's a stay of execution pending appeal.
I see.
I think maybe another 2 years before she, if things go well, 2 years before she enters jail.
Yeah.
Shit. That means now under house arrest or something.
No. Appeal pending, stay of execution pending appeal.
Oh.
Means you're not guilty.
Oh.
I mean,
I see.
you are found guilty, but you're on appeal, right? Okay, so we let you appeal, and you don't go to jail until you exhaust all your appeal. The idea is that if you actually are not guilty, then you spend those nights in jail. You cannot take back away.
Correct.
It's different in some other countries like in Japan, where they have a very high conviction rate because you are kept in jail indefinitely until your court date or whatever, until you are whatever lah.
Oh shit!
I see.
So by the time they plead guilty or whatever,
go ahead.
No, but she's like how old now? Like it's got to be like 70s or
60s,
60s.
I think 60s. Yeah, Najib was 60s.
So everyone's like super happy that they got convicted and everything, like, right?
Except their supporters lah.
So they still have hardcore supporters.
Definitely,
they
definitely. There's still hardcore people who think.
So how do they defend? How do they defend what they did?
It's all a political conspiracy. The money is not his one. He was doing good for the orphans.
So your knowledge of like politics in Malaysia.
There will always be people who believe the earth is flat.
Yeah. Correct.
So obviously there'll be some people who may believe that Najib is an amazing guy.
Yeah.
How maybe one of us think the earth is flat?
You're basic education.
No, what I was going to ask is, your knowledge of like Malaysian politics and even politics of other countries, is it because you are fundamentally interested as you get older, you have a child, or is it also because it is part of comedy material?
I think all. It's part of, I like watching Trevor Noah, Ronnie Cheng, Stephen Colbert, John Oliver. They're all very well read, and there's politics around the world is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. American politics is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's an interest lah.
Do you think Singapore politics is hilarious?
No, very boring.
No, honestly, because
I made jokes about this also. It's very boring. It's not funny lah. Because recently the biggest hoo-ha recently from Singapore is like apparently some minister said something which affected a lot of other like site operators who conduct activities for children, right? So now like he made a mistake or something, and then like major hoo-ha. They have to organize a clarification town hall, and then there's another mistake, and there's another one like it's on the news, major news. I'm like, that's your biggest problem.
That's so juvenile.
We have way bigger problems in Malaysia.
So that's why sometimes we do our podcast 3 times a week, right? And sometimes, like, there's really nothing in the political scene that is super polarizing or controversial. So sometimes we got slow news days also. Then we talk about Dana White slapping his wife.
Yeah, but news about Singaporeans sometimes you get the weird Singaporean who's like
that one got also
right.
That one got a lot.
There was a dude recently who sued his some woman for friend zoning him. Like for $3 million.
Yeah, why so much?
I don't know, man.
So your question is not about why sue in the first place. You're like, why so much? Maybe
why so much?
300,000, okay.
But she promised you 3 million. Is
it reputational damage and everything? Like, it's
because he's a CEO of his own company and a trader. So he said his earnings were affected.
But it's true. I was listening to the podcast you were with, you were on Fuzz's podcast, right? And the funny thing was like, I think a lot of times when you were trying to make a very serious point about the politics side of things, then there was a lot of like, everyone was chiming in with a lot of different jokes and laughter, and he was like, no, I'm trying to be serious, guys.
Yeah, this shows you how unprofessional Faz is and his podcast.
No, in Singapore, we probably take it much more like, politics, whatever, PAP will just take care of it, right,
But is the PAP losing ground year on year?
Oh, wow, big question.
Last election, they bounced back a bit. I think they got, like the previous election before that, I think it was less than the before. but this election was better than the previous election.
It was during COVID lah. You need stability during COVID.
During COVID.
I would say now there's a lot of questions about inequality lah in Singapore.
It's good.
Yeah, inequality is the big problem that we're facing now.
Especially now with everything, the property prices booming.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But also like just today I think Parliament's sitting. There's a lot of discussions about. There's one particular MP, for example, she's taking up a job at Grab. Literally.
How is that possible? While you're an MP, even
MP,
for a Malaysian politician, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's like it's such a clear conflict of interest, but they just say, "Oh no, but I'll be fully transparent and above board." But you can't be, even if you're transparent, so it's still a conflict of interest.
Even the role, right, is Director of Public Relations, Public Policy.
Yeah.
How the fuck, even if
you're voting on policy.
Exactly. And even if you don't actively make a decision that exploits your own leverage, if you're talking to a vendor, for example, right, where they do government business and all, and you are going to pressure okay, if I say no to this, am I saying no to Grab or am I saying no to PAP? So it just feels like, how the fuck does that make sense?
See, that's why Singapore, you all don't know how to do this kind of things. Singapore, everything.
Come explain,
Singapore. Okay, so let me get it straight, okay? So this member of parliament got a job at Grab. As what, director?
Director of Public Policy or something.
Public Policy. It's so stupid. Why you put everything on paper? Let's say I'm Grab in Malaysia. Let's say I'm company X in Malaysia. I want the MP's influence, right? No need to. Let's just give the MP some shares in the company. This can be private. Don't have to declare. Right now, the MP is invested in the company's interest. And therefore, the MP will whatever. And then I can say, when you meet people, she's the board of director. She's but you don't have to declare, you don't have to publicize this. And then you do avoid these problems. You don't even have to declare, don't have to put on that board of directors. Whoever is like shareholder.
Bro, I think you just fast track your PR application. You fast track. PAP was like, we need this guy.
This guy knows how to handle. Bro, this is basic Malaysian knowledge. Because while you all go learn national service, we learn this bullshit. How to cover. So what's happening to this case? So fascinating, because in Malaysia, honestly, we don't do this. There's never been an MP I know who took a public job.
And it's such a huge ass company which has its arms in everything,
It's a big company.
Huge ass, and it just broke. The news just broke Friday, is it?
Yes.
Friday. So this today is being discussed in Parliament.
I don't know if it's being discussed,
but confirm the MP, opposition will question. Opposition will question.
So there are all these. You were asking about PAP earlier. I think people are questioning: is it that the government is getting very out of touch with people, such that even doing this kind of blatant taking a job that directly conflicts with your role as MP, they try to rush it through and brush it off.
There is something even less egregious happening in Malaysia, but it's gotten a lot of flack, which is so the Prime Minister's daughter, her name is Nurul Izzah, very popular politician. First of all, I like her personally. And then the last election she lost. It was a shock defeat. She lost to a conservative politician. Shock defeat. It's lost, and the seat that she lost has been under the family for the longest time. It was previously Anwar Ibrahim's seat.
Correct, yeah.
Then the wife, now the daughter won 2 terms or 1 term, now lost. Shock defeat.
Yeah.
So recently, the Prime Minister, who is also the Finance Minister, appointed her as a advisor into the Finance Ministry.
Is it?
Yeah. Now this is there's no, and he said that this one is unpaid. It's no, she's not getting a salary.
Yeah.
Malaysians this nepotism. What the fuck? She got the job because she's your daughter. No. She's qualified because there are other qualified people too. But she got it because she's your daughter. Right. And then some people say no lah, that's not nepotism. Blah blah blah. But a lot of people say, but it is lah. It is lah.
It's kind of like Ivanka Trump.
It's clear cut nepotism.
But hasn't that been happening for a while already? How come people are questioning now?
No. We always question
for her specifically.
But this one is a bit more because Anwar Ibrahim campaigned on the platform of reform and transparency and good governance. Now you appoint your daughter. I'm and he has also spoken like this last time. You shouldn't appoint your sons and daughters to give you shouldn't give your contracts to your sons and daughters. But okay, obviously this one no money change hands, but still you get a name card that says Ministry of Finance Advisor. Daddy is Prime Minister. This nepotism is quite clicker lah. You know, but that I feel not as egregious as an MP taking a job at Grab.
So that's why
it's amazing it is happening in Singapore.
Also, like maybe 5 to 10 years ago, people might be less willing to post about it on their own Facebook or on Twitter. But now you're seeing a lot of that, which is great. Which is great.
But okay, so this is a PAP politician.
You're literally sitting in her constituency right now. She is the MP of this constituency.
But how did the party head say okay to this? Surely she must have said, "Hey guys, I want to work at Grab."
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's why
the thing. That's why people are.
It's interesting.
Like,
are they so out of touch?
I'm a Malaysian, and I'm like, you serious? You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and the role especially. So I'm assuming there are details that we haven't got access to because it just dropped on Friday. But also a bit funny to drop on Friday.
It's an unpaid position.
Exactly. Because it also dropped on Friday, and whenever news come out on Friday, you always have this feeling like, okay, is there a reason why they put it on Friday? Yes. Because then the news cycle takes a break, right?
No, it's always on Friday. Usually news like put it on Friday. They want to bury it.
Yeah, correct. They want to bury it.
I don't know why they must. Or because Grab is a public listed company, that's why they have to announce this kind of stuff.
Maybe. But it's so weird. Like,
so weird.
I didn't even know MPs they can take on a full-time role.
They can.
I think it's
I
not.
thought an MP can. MPs can.
No,
I think it's not illegal or against the constitution.
But it's just weird lah.
It's just not nice.
Weird lah. Director of Public Policy.
It's just not nice lah.
So we see.
I mean, if a Malaysian is criticizing this, you.
That's why
if a Malaysian wants to apply for PR, you gotta. Yeah, bro. Think about it lah, bro. No, but I don't know how he got approved.
Why they even thought it was something that they could fudge their way through.
But if she, in her role in Grab, manages to reduce the Grab fees, hey,
impossible.
There's no conflict of interest because it's aligned with mine. So expensive now, Grab.
Exactly.
Grab. My God, so expensive.
No, so you come to Singapore, you must download the competitors also.
Gojek,
Tada.
Then you do double.
Yeah, must do double.
In Malaysia, people use Grab lah, and
I think Grab is there are a lot of alternatives, but Grab is the only one that's reliable.
Really?
But it's expensive.
It's expensive also.
It is expensive.
No more promo codes or no more discounts or anything. There was once where they were like, Oprah's, every day just promo code.
They were trying to kill Uber lah.
Yeah, they were trying to kill Uber lah.
But now they killed it. It's killing us now.
Yeah, killing us.
But how important is Grab for the average Malaysian? Like
urban Malaysian, most of us have cars.
Okay.
Public transportation is not reliable. But even with cars, we get stuck in jams. But most of us have cars lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So food delivery or that not that important.
Food delivery, yes, because then they arrive on motorbikes.
Okay.
So it's quite important. Yeah.
Okay.
But recently Grab has people are having a bit of falling out with Grab because the prices are increasing.
Okay.
The delivery prices and everything. So it's like, but the good thing is it keeps a lot of people employed lah.
Yeah.
You know, if they otherwise don't have jobs, keep them employed so that at least they stay off the streets and.
Yep.
I mean, as much as I will complain about Grab and all, if I need it, they still provide a good service if they're the cheapest, or if they can deliver the food. I'm like, fuck it lah. I'll just drink the damn Kool-Aid lah.
Is there an alternative for Grab for food delivery?
Yeah, I got the Deliveroo, Food Panda,
Deliveroo.
Food
just
Panda,
walking lah, just taking a walk to your local hawker center.
Then there are platforms like Odel, which is a Singapore-started company that basically helps websites, restaurants create their own website for delivery or something. So they cut out the middleman. So a lot of establishments are also doing that.
Right.
Because the Grab, I think during COVID, Grab also got some flack because their service charges, like the cut that they take from restaurants, like 30% or something, which is damn high lah.
So that's why now a lot of this restaurant they mark up the price 30%.
Oh yeah.
Correct. It's expensive.
But in Malaysia, is inflation a general, like a very big theme of people's day to day now?
Yeah. Inflation is very bad now. And then we have stuff like egg shortage.
Yes.
Chicken shortage. And inflation is quite high now. So recently the government introduced something called Menu Rahmah, which is like friendly menu, which is like certain restaurants you pay 5 ringgit, you get like rice, chicken and veg, whatever. Like I don't know how it's going to be sustainable, but it's it's worrying because these kind of measures are like like Band-Aid.
Yeah.
The fact that they're doing this means they don't have a better solution yet. To all this inflation and whatever. So like, what's your next plan? Takkan don't tell me you do this friendly menu for like the next 5 years. It's not sustainable.
So given how parliament is so fractured in Malaysia, is a lot of time spent like the convincing within parliament to pass a certain thing or something? Because in Singapore, like majority PAP still, if they want something, they will push it through,
Yeah.
Malaysia, is it a lot of like, okay, just in-house
So
fighting
right now,
just-
the current prime minister, the current composition, he's actually enjoying a 2/3 majority because his coalition plus some former enemies, you have a simple coalition. Then another coalition from its own coalition from Sabah and Sarawak, from Sarawak. They themselves are a big group who has joined him lah. So to get benefits for East Malaysia. So with that, he actually has a 2/3 majority. So if he wants to amend the constitution for reforms, now's a good time lah. But he doesn't have. He shouldn't be relaxing and waiting. He should do it now because you never know when your government will collapse.
But within the coalition, they all, I mean, definitely got some
now.
differences. Oh, for now.
For now,
it's fresh.
So, but last time, when we lowered the voting age to 18 years old, the guy who was spearheading it, his name is Syed Saddiq, a very young politician.
Yeah, correct.
He managed to cross the aisle and get a lot of bipartisan support. So the motion to lower the voting age was passed unanimously. Everyone agreed, which is a good thing lah. So yeah, but when you don't have a strong coalition, you have to take time to. Like last year, they tried to do this thing called the generational endgame for smoking. Which is like they will ban smoking products being sold to people who are born after a certain year. People born after let's say 2015.
Yeah.
Cannot
You will
buy
never be able to. I mean,
Yeah.
the idea is that you never be able to smoke lah.
Yeah.
Then there was but that fell apart because not enough support.
I see.
As in what, young people want to smoke?
No, I mean, okay, so because you see, the lobbyists, the tobacco companies, they will lobby to not have it in place lah.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely ridiculous because you have politicians who say, hey, we must support businesses. What are you talking about? It's to prevent smoking. Clearly, some of them have been influenced lah.
Yeah.
So, and big tobacco has a lot of money.
They never take position as director of public policy at the tobacco companies.
No need lah. No need. You just
get shares.
you just get shares, or they were, or it's like another simple way is like, okay lah, the next election I will fund your campaign lah, whatever lah.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly, and it's all just speculating allegedly for legal purposes. There's no need to join the public listed company and announce one. No need. If PAP needs a strategy director, they should contact me lah.
So in Malaysia, there's no equivalent of like Alex Jones, someone who is that publicly vocal about all the conspiracy theory shit, given all the stuff that's happening.
I don't think so.
Don't have.
Don't think so. At least definitely not in English lah.
Not in English.
But we don't need. Yeah, Singapore got lah.
Singapore.
Probably
Alex Jones, the
Amos
first being
Yee.
sued and
Yeah.
cancelled, man. The guy.
Deplatform.
Is it deplatform?
I think so. I think he hasn't been put back. Like Trump kena put back already, right?
The worst thing he did was like telling all the parents that they're
shootings, right? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, that one's I think that was the point where even the neutrals were like, dude, you can't say this kind of shit lah.
Yeah.
He's getting sued. Like,
Billions, I think. I pay $1 billion.
And I hope he gets fucked. It's horrible, the things he did.
It is. Yeah.
So now when you go to America, part of your tour includes going to America, right?
Yeah.
So like, are you thinking also like, the audience will be talking to in America? Because I can imagine the whole audience there being very...
Yeah, I think my
right?
stuff, you don't really need to be a Malaysian to get it. And I'm sure I have, but then I also, when I perform overseas, I know that I have some fans who are in America who like my stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really need to like sort of pander to US politics or whatever. And I shouldn't lah, because like then I become just every other comic in America, in New York. I want to be my own guy.
Yeah, correct.
So I don't really go, okay, I need to do something, but sometimes something happens which you must address, you know what I mean? Like I went to London last year, October, and this was shortly after Liz Truss was Prime Minister, then had to resign.
Yeah.
And that time things were shit in London. Very bad. And that time also the ringgit went up to like an all-time high record against the pound.
Okay.
So I went there and I said, opening line, I said, Malaysia's going through a lot of shit. But I got to say, you guys are going through a lot of shit also. Big applause break. Big applause. Like, let me tell you how bad it is from outsider perspective. Okay, I've toured around for 10 years. This is the first time I go to another country and I tell the local promoter, please pay me in ringgit. And they like explode, like applause because their currency was so shit then also. So like, okay, it's really bad. So that was a nice special moment that only the UK fans have lah.
I see. Also, you have a little bit
because it's so big.
Yeah, correct.
In Jakarta, this one happened like my venue outside. There's simple things like no flight photography, whatever. So, no food, no drinks, no weapons. I went on stage. Jakarta is the first time there were no weapons. Like, what happened at the last show? That you must say no weapons. Really, no weapons. The third one.
No weapons.
Surely, if it should have been the first time,
So when you plan these tours, like, is it all like do you have people that help you with it?
Yeah.
You lead it and
like Malaysian shows mostly I do myself.
Yeah.
With the help of my manager. Singapore shows I do myself. Then Australia, New Zealand, I have a guy who's helping me. His name is Andy. And then like Indonesia, I have a friend named Mo. He's a promoter in Indonesia. Then Hong Kong, I have another friend in Hong Kong.
So these are all people you get to know through your network and all.
Vivek and Mo are fellow comedians. Really great guys. So you just need someone you can trust lah.
I
see.
Malaysia, Singapore, I don't need because I know the market so well.
Okay. So like, during COVID, you were trying a bunch of different things also, right? Like
coming on your podcast,
coming on podcasts, all these things.
Doing online streaming, doing comedy shows online, doing videos, which really helped lah.
But what have you learnt in the past couple of years through the pandemic that maybe you wouldn't want to go back to or anything at all, like, or something that has made you realize like this is really like stand-up comedy in person live. That's what I want to do, and not all the other fluff like doing stuff online and all that.
I think during the pandemic, people learned the value of arts and entertainment.
Oh, really?
Because they're stuck at home.
Okay.
So when I do videos, the videos that I put out during the pandemic all have excellent views because people are at home. So they just watch. So and it really honed my craft also. So people now appreciate comedy more. So there's a lot of value in what you do, especially when you entertain people, you put out content. So content is king during those pandemic years. So, but once I got out of that and I returned to the stage, that's when I realized that the stage is very different. Doing live comedy, people giving you that immediate feedback. That's the best job. It's the best job in the world. So that's why I love stand-up comedy a lot more. I used to love it a lot, but now I love it even more. Yeah, it's taken my appreciation to the next level, especially when my friend got arrested and, the comedy club got shut down. Appreciate it while we still have it. That's why I like coming to Singapore to perform. Last year I shot my special and I performing regularly again, touring again. So it's a good feeling. It's one of the best jobs in the world, being a stand-up comedian. Very lucky to do it.
Yeah. And you have a show coming out in July in Singapore also, right?
Yes.
And tickets are available already.
Yes. Actually, so I'm doing, this year, I'm doing 5 cities in Malaysia, Singapore, then there's Hong Kong, Indonesia, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth, Melbourne, Adelaide, Auckland, London, and then London, LA, New York, Toronto, Vancouver. Right? But my fastest selling show is in Singapore.
Oh, yeah?
Good.
I've sold more tickets in Singapore than in KL. So I love the Singaporean fans or all the fans in Singapore. So it's selling like non-stop. So I think I'm going to add another show.
Oh, is it?
Wow.
So 7th and 8th, Friday, Saturday. I think I may add a matinee show on Saturday. Because I've sold, right now, total capacity is 4,000 seats.
Yeah.
I've sold 1,000.
Wow, power,
I
man.
have 5 more months to go, so I might add another show lah. So I'm really optimistic lah.
Oh,
Last year's shows were also sold out, so I'm very grateful.
And this is the Esplanade.
Esplanade, baby.
Oh, alamak.
Yeah.
That is great, man.
And I'm hoping that everyone watches my Netflix special coming on 9th of February.
Yeah.
And then hopefully that will even spur more ticket sales lah.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's coming out 9th February. It's called
Ride with Caution.
Ride with Caution. And your tour is called?
Brain Drain.
Brain Drain. So that will be the core of your next special.
So Brain Drain is this year's tour. And then I will probably shoot Brain Drain and record it and produce it so that it'll be a special that I can hopefully sell to Netflix again or some other whichever streaming platform will offer me $1 million.
MediaCorp lah, bro.
MediaCorp. Million. 1 million sing.
Depends what current million sing. I don't think they've ever had a stand-up comedy special yet.
Maybe you can hook me on MediaCorp.
Can.
Million.
Another checkbox on your PR application, MediaCorp production.
Really? Yeah, actually, yeah. Hey, if they pay me million sing, why not, man? But it'll be heavily edited, I'm sure, right?
Very, very.
Have you ever thought about doing anything on OnlyFans or not?
OnlyFans. I have thought of it, but not. No, I'll do OnlyFans, but not
comedy lah. Is it?
Not nothing sexual one lah. It's just like okay, for 10,000, you can put your price right. $10,000. I will say I love feng shui or whatever. For 1 million, I'll say traditional Chinese medicine works. Whatever lah. Whatever. I put money to betray my beliefs lah, but a lot of money lah.
I see. Yeah.
That's the only fans you do lah. If you like to betray your beliefs lah.
Betray my beliefs for a lot of money.
For a lot of money.
For a lot of money.
Yeah, I was telling Faz also, try, because I think he recorded his performance last year or something. I said, just try put on OnlyFans. You'll be like the first stand-up comedian in Malaysia and Singapore to go on OnlyFans.
But it's only all for sex, right? It's all just
no, not sex lah. Sex like take a Mickey out of it.
People who are on OnlyFans, the people who
it's
buy,
a lot of sex lah. It's a lot.
Just want sex. They just want sex.
Yeah, it's a lot of sex.
Yeah, there's a Malaysian OnlyFans creator. Her name is Puyi.
Yeah, correct.
Very famous.
So rich.
Yeah.
She's so
But now
rich.
she's pivoting to DJing, right?
Yeah, but smart lah. But she's so rich.
Does she live in Malaysia?
I think so, yes.
She does. Like, how does that square with like, the laws against blowjobs and everything?
I really don't know lah. But there's definitely... She's very popular.
Okay.
Now, yes, she's doing DJing, but my God, she's so rich.
And she's the first.
I admire her so much, just like how you make money, lah. Amazing.
But you say
Smart
she's
lah,
rich
dude.
in the sense of she's very public with how she spends the money or what?
No, I meant rich with values. No, lah. Yeah, she has a Porsche or whatever. But she's younger than me, and she got so much money.
And she's the first Asian to be the cover of Penthouse, I think.
And was it
Playboy.
No, Playboy shut down.
Playboy
Oh,
still around,
Penthouse.
right?
Penthouse.
Yeah.
Penthouse.
She's starring in a movie that's coming out soon.
Yeah. With Vika, right? I saw the trailer also with Vika.
Yeah. Amazing work.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean all of her career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that outside of Michelle Yeoh right now, she might be the next most watched Malaysian?
Maybe.
I mean, she's got 20 million followers, man.
Wow,
on Instagram.
20 million.
Yeah,
Holy
20 million.
crap.
20 million.
20 million.
Wow.
20 million. But yeah, man.
The next one is Nigel Ng, who has 7 million subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
Nigel
she's-
Ng.
Nigel.
7 million.
What sort of content does he do?
Uncle Roger.
Uncle Roger.
Oh, Uncle Roger. Oh, Nigel Ng.
But he's based in London, lah. He's
Yeah, he's based in London.
7
He just
million
finished touring.
subscribers.
I don't know how I can't even count that number.
is he seen as part of the stand-up?
Yeah,
comedy scene?
he's a great stand-up comedian, and he started as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
Then he hit on Uncle Roger. That's why he can go and tour, because he already had the chops.
I see.
Now he found the fans.
But he tours as Nigel Ng, not Uncle Roger, right? Or
Okay,
both?
I've not watched the show yet, but what he does is he comes out as Uncle Roger, interacts with the crowd, goes back in.
Then comes
His
out as
opening
Nigel
act
Ng.
comes out. Then he comes out as Nigel.
Oh, that's smart lah. That's smart.
Smart, because
Yeah.
but he's so successful now.
Yeah. I mean, I respect how he, like, from there, then even his podcast is super successful. His touring and all.
The Haya podcast, yeah.
Yeah, the Haya
He's
podcast.
becoming his own media conglomerate lah.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's great.
Yeah. So it's now. So I've been telling my friends in comedy that overall, I think we're entering a golden age for stand-up comedy in Asia. There was an initial wave where we all started our careers. This was in 2010. But there's a second wave coming where we're entering like a golden age of stand-up comedy where everyone loves comedy. People come out and support. I see it in Singapore. I see it in Malaysia, despite what has happened. I see it in Manila. I see it in Indonesia. It's happening. The second age, the second wave, which will be the golden age of stand-up comedy in Asia. So I tell all my friends who are in comedy,
just keep doing
keep
it.
Sharp, keep working, because it's going to come. So when it comes, you don't want to get left behind. You want to be ready to ride a wave. It's coming.
What happened in the first wave? Like people got rich or...
No. The first wave is just, it happened. Stand-up comedy happened. So after Russell Peters became viral with a clip, 2004-5, where 34, 50, you know that. You're gonna get a hurt real bad. Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Manila, Philippines, Indonesia, India, all started our stand-up comedy explosions, which mutually exclusive of each other because we never interacted. Our scene started same time. The English same time. We all had the same trajectory, everyone. And then we met and they go, it's been growing ever since. It's been growing ever since. And I think in the next few years there'll be a lot more of the like say Hollywood or the more mature markets are going to turn their gaze towards Asian comedians. So that's one. And then our own fan bases, our own countries will love stand-up even more. They're going to support stand-up comedy even more. So this is the second wave.
So do you see Russell Peters as like one of your all-time heroes? He's like the Jesus of Asian comedy.
I met him at Montreal at the Just for Laughs festival in Montreal. He just finished his show and I was watching the next show. So I saw him at the backstage and I said, hey Russell, I'm a comedian from Malaysia and I see you also do BJJ. I said everything, all the things to make it seem like we have a connection lah. Then I said, you started the comedy revolution in Asia. Then he said, that's a lot of pressure. So he's coming to this part of town. He's coming to KL 20th February. He's coming to Singapore 25th February.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to meet him. Maybe he does BJJ so I can hopefully roll with him.
That's true. That's true.
He really that set was very eye-opening for Asians.
Yeah, even for my family, like everybody loved it, and I never seen them
and people
share.
go, hey, actually, Asians can do stand-up lah.
Correct.
Asians are funny. Hey, I like started exploded.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole new market thanks to that clip.
But cool. So I mean, people can get your tickets it's online available already.
Yes, tickets to my entire tour available at jasonleong.my. Tickets are very, very cheap. And then my second special on Netflix, Ride with Caution, is available 9th of February on Netflix worldwide.
Wow, awesome. Nice. Okay, and we'll put the links to the show notes. Now on Netflix, people can sign up to put it also like to watch. Like
I think so. I think
right?
you can. If you watch the trailer, you can tap on something to remind you
when
it's going to come out. Yeah, the trailer's on. The trailer's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Then shall we do a one Shiok thing?
Yes. We always end our show with talking about one Shiok thing. If
we give you the homework already. Yeah, one Shiok thing.
Okay.
So would you have something in mind? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Can.
So recently, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts because when you get stuck in traffic jams.
Yeah.
By the way, you're Singaporeans. You all know what traffic jam is?
It's the thing you put on the bread, is it?
Yes.
They don't last more than 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Our jams last 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to this podcast called How to Take Over the World.
Okay.
Right? It's basically, this guy is a historian. I think he talks about world leaders from the past like Julius Caesar, Vladimir Putin, Alexander the Great. So that's why I recently listened to the whole about Julius Caesar. The life of Julius Caesar is very interesting. And how he became one of the most influential men in Rome and till today. The word, Tsar, like the Russian Tsar, that word came from Caesar. It was Caesar, Kaiser, Khazar, Tsar. It all came from Caesar. So it's very influential and it's very fascinating life of Caesar. one of the legends of Caesar is, and you all listen to the whole podcast. One legend of Caesar is he once got kidnapped by pirates. Right? So that the pirates want to ransom him so that people paid him a lot of money.
Yep.
So, but Caesar was a very ambitious and a very arrogant man. So when the pirates said, we're going to ransom you for 30 talents of money. Caesar said, 30 talents? Hey, I'm worth more. Ask for more. Ask for 50 talents. And then he would participate in sports with them, play games with them, they had exercises. Like he's sleeping, then the pirates are playing games. He'll say, hey, can you please quiet down? I'm trying to sleep. This is to his pirate captain.
Yeah.
Then they became friends. And then he jokingly said to the pirates, when I get ransomed, I'm going to come back and I'm going to crucify all of you. And the fellow, joker lah, Caesar. You're a funny guy lah. So he gets ransomed. He gets released. Right? He goes to the nearest town, musters a small army, right? Raids the pirate cove. The pirates are still there. He captures all of them, and true to his word, he crucifies all of them.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But because they are friends, they've become friends, he is merciful. Because when you get crucified, it's a very horrible way to die.
Yeah.
So when they get crucified, he also slits their throat so that they die faster.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice of him.
So nice.
Nice guy.
So nice guy.
Then he took back the money that they just ransomed him with.
Yeah.
Took back the money.
Yeah,
Such a cool guy. Yeah. So that's one of the legends of Caesar. And that's just before he became really powerful and became the Caesar of Rome. So interesting.
So it's like how long is each podcast?
I believe there are 3 episodes. Each episode is like 40 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Yeah. But the entire chronicles, there's also other podcast which talk about his life in even greater detail. But this is a good start lah.
I see.
Julius Caesar, one of the most.
And it's a few different leaders lah. It's just 3 episodes.
Yeah, no. The whole podcast is a few different, many other different. But I'm talking about the one about Julius Caesar. He does it really well.
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
What about yours?
Terence?
Mine is, I think on Complex, there's a recent YouTube video they did where the WWE legend, The Undertaker, goes sneaker shopping with Complex. So
cute.
They got The Undertaker, invited him to come to a sneaker store in Boston to talk about the sneakers that he wore and what he grew up with and what sneakers he was interested in as a youth. And how even while he was wrestling and all that, what kind of sneakers he was wearing and what kind of sneakers he'd wear now lah. So they got him to actually buy some sneakers on the spot. And I always find this damn funny because, all these Undertaker, Stone Cold, all these legends from 20 years ago, they're basically uncles now, right?
Yeah, they're uncles now. You're
trying to talk to them about sneaker culture. They're like, oh yeah, it's awesome that LeBron James wore this unique, like 1 in 500, like purple color LeBron 9 that pays homage to me. Then I'm like, but you look at him, he's wearing like these uncle, like dad shoes, like white color New Balance dad shoes. And he's like, I got a bad back now, so I can't wear all these sneakers and I got to wear New Balances because there's so it's always damn funny. There's the contrast of like, you remember these guys, The Undertaker, then they're like, talking about their bad knees and bad hips and like what New Balance shoes they're wearing.
A previous Shiok Thing was the one with Stone Cold, right?
Yeah, the Stone Cold was funny also.
This is the Undertaker. So is it your Shiok Thing because it looks inauthentic? Like they are obviously not sneakerheads or...
Yeah, they're obviously not sneakerheads. They're dads who are basically being put on the spot. Yeah, to try and connect to a younger generation and all that. It's always a funny lah. But I mean, they're also legends lah, right? So you would watch it just to hear what they say lah.
Undertaker is pre-Steve Stone Cold lah, right?
Yeah.
He started before lah.
Yeah, with Hulk Hogan and all lah.
Yeah. But he stayed with the company. He stayed loyal to the company.
All the way, yeah.
There's a rumor about Undertaker, probably true, where WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold Steve Austin was fighting Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold Steve Austin was booked to win the match and usher in the whole Attitude Era. First time becoming the WWE champion.
Yep.
WF champion that time. And Undertaker's match with Kane just finished. So then so his match finished and the next one is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So Undertaker goes to the back and then he stands by the side where he knows Shawn Michaels can see him. And Shawn Michaels at the time was very known to be a diva.
Yeah.
And they were worried that he would not do business, as they call it. He would not lose to Austin cleanly in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to fuck it up. So Undertaker stands by the side. He knows Shawn Michaels can see him. He starts taping up his wrists.
Is it?
He didn't say anything. Just tape up his wrists. The message is, you don't do properly, I'm gonna
fuck you up.
Fuck you up when you come back.
Oh,
he was always known as one of the big guys in backstage. Like he would enforce discipline and scold people who fucked up or were out of line and things like that.
And plus, it helps that he's 6'11".
Yeah, that big guy. Big guy ready.
Yeah, big guy. Yeah, big guy.
Yeah. Size 15 shoes. I learned. Yeah, he wears size 15.
Cool. Okay. My one Shiok thing is I know I'm late to a lot of TV shows, but I recently completed Inventing Anna. Have you seen it?
No.
Have you heard of Anna Delvey?
No, so sorry.
There was this case of this German heiress who came to New York wanting to start like the Anna Delvey Foundation, which was meant to be like the most exclusive arts clubhouse in New York, like an entire building dedicated, and she was 25 lah. And when it was happening, I think it was 2016, 2017, she was like rubbing shoulders with all the in people in New York, like the most famous architect, the most famous chef, all getting them on board to build this one clubhouse. She got a $40 million loan from Fortress, which is a pretty legit investment vehicle. And she was 25 lah. So there was just all this, like, wow, on Instagram she was posting living the high life of New York, and she was known to be this German heiress, like with a trust fund of 70 million from her dad. So one journalist started picking up eventually she got arrested because for claims of, I think, fraud and larceny or something like. Then what made it go viral was this one journalist from the Manhattan.
Oh, this happened recently.
2018. Yeah, she wrote a long 7,000 word deep dive narrative about the story of Anna Delvey and how she conned New York's elite lah. And that blew up. It went viral, and Shonda Rhimes got the rights, and she made a TV show about it, following how this person conned her way and somehow managed to convince the best bankers, the best lawyers that her trust fund was legit, and that everything was real. But now she's serving jail time under house arrest because she was convicted out of like the 7 out of the 10 charges. And this story just tells it from like a story, like, not a documentary. So, I mean, I know the thing...
How many episodes?
Is 9 episodes. And it's super fascinating because I know there was some criticism about its tone and all, but it just shows how one person with enough confidence and charisma can con the people at the higher levels of society. And once you con one person, it helps you con the second person. And you just watch it, you're like, fuck, you can almost imagine how that would happen. It's like you're so rich and famous that people don't even bother checking your trust fund. Like, she would use a voice moderator to change
Hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking fascinating. You watched it?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, it is unreal, and it just makes you think, shit, man, like,
I also can do.
Yeah, you also can do with enough confidence. And she's almost like somewhat delusional, and then now she's getting a reality TV show.
So the problem is she didn't follow through with her project. Like, if she had taken the money and do it,
no, she almost got close to it, but she got turned in by her friend who she siphoned some money from. So that friend called the cops. And then she was under charge. But up till then, everything, within a few weeks, she would have got a $40 million loan.
Wow.
Yeah.
To get this clubhouse on 281 Park Avenue, which is this exclusive property in New York.
Wow.
So it's fascinating. So it's a nice watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So after you watch Jason's new special, then you can
yes,
watch,
correct, yes.
9th of February.
9th of February.
On Netflix, Right with Caution.
Right with Caution. And Brain Drain, the global world tour.
Yes.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, guys.
No, thanks for coming.
Love you guys.
Anytime you're in Singapore, just come.
Yes.
Yeah, can.
PAP the best.
PAP the best. Okay.